An exhibition curated by Dr Thembinkosi Goniwe launched at the Standard Bank Gallery in Johannesburg a few months after David Koloane's passing. The exhibition is not only a showcase of a lifetime survey of the work of the renowned South African artist, but also marks his enormous contribution to the South African visual art landscape. Titled A Resilient Visionary, Poetic Expression of David Koloane, stands as a commemorative tribute to his life and work. Now, Dr. Same Mdluli, the Standard Bank Gallery manager, joins me now this morning for more. Dr. Mdluli, very good morning and a warm welcome again.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
What do you think are some of the factors that led to the Standard Bank Art Gallery becoming South Africa's foremost art space and profiling, a lifetime of the survey of the work of Dr. Koloane?
Yeah. So, the Standard Bank has been obviously sponsoring the arts for a very long time. And the gallery stands as one of those assets. Next year it turns 30 years, which means it's been, supporting visual artists throughout the years for about 3 decades now. And so this exhibition stands as a testament to that. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about his legacy. Do you think he achieved what he set out to achieve in his lifetime?
I think he did, and he did more than that. He also left us, his legacy.
Yeah.
David was not only a visual artist, he was also a mentor. He was also a writer, he was also a curator.
Yeah.
And he contributed immensely, I think, to not only the visual art landscape, but also to, the artistic and cultural landscape overall.
Yeah. And it's also curated by Dr. Goniwe, and he said that he selected some of the pieces from Dr. Koloane's personal collections. Do you want to take us through some of these?
Sure. So, initially the idea was to do a survey and a retrospective that looked at some of his important works. But obviously these are sitting in international collections, so the logistics of getting those kinds of works would have been taken much longer.
Yeah.
And so we chose to then select from David's own collection from his estate. So the works that you'll be seeing are his own personal works.
Okay. And what are some of his greatest works?
So there are very different themes that David kind of engaged in his artistic practice. But I think the main one is his obsession with Johannesburg, the city. In all its various aspects.
Okay.
And that comes through really in this exhibition through, how he represents the traffic, the commuters, the cityscape, all these various facets that make Johannesburg this interesting metropolis.
Yeah. And how do you plan on ensuring that you move, like after this exhibition, you move beyond just improving the lives of visual artists and making them, a source of their livelihoods?
So, I think one of the things or the legacies that David leaves us with is precisely this body of work, right, that younger students can not only, be inspired by, but draw from, because I think one of the things that he achieved was in the early 1980s, he created what was known as the Tupelo workshops, which was a space where different artists could come together and exchange ideas. And this eventually evolved into what became the Bag Factory, which is now, one of the most renowned artist studios that we have in Johannesburg. And so it's that he leaves behind, yeah.
Sure. What's the purpose of, an exhibition of this nature, really?
It's not only to highlight, I think, the contribution he's made, but I think it does a bigger thing of highlighting some of the artists that I think history, in a sense, has kind of erased. And that's not been an intentional thing, I think there are various other things that are happening in the world, but it's important that spaces like the Standard Bank Gallery, for example, put a highlight on some of these artists that otherwise would be forgotten.
I'm going through the art gallery statement, and it says, in part, foregrounded is Koloane's artistic practice, particularly his aesthetic inclinations and visual vocabulary with which he interrogates the socio-political and existential human condition. So how are these aspects finding expression in his work?
So there are various approaches that David takes in his artistic practice. And I think one of the things that he pioneered, so to speak, is precisely when he was doing the Tupelo workshops, is how black artists started moving away from doing figurative to more abstract expressions. And this, in a sense, you see in the work and how this kind of transformed, right, in his process, not only in the trajectory that he has taken, but I think as he himself was becoming, you know, an artist, one of the greatest that we have in this country.
Yeah. And how long is the exhibition running for?
So it's running until the 6th of December, after which hopefully it will travel nationally, and if funds allow, possibly internationally, which would be great because he had that kind of an impact.
Yeah, and an outreach. All right, Dr. Mdluli, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Well, the exhibition travels to Johannesburg after opening in Cape Town in May 2019. The Standard Bank Gallery presents a resilient, visionary, poetic expressions of David Koloane, an exhibition curated by Dr. Thembinkosi Goniwe. We just spoke to Dr. Same Mdluli, the Standard Bank Gallery manager.